Alright, time to pick out the next game for the next review. I believe I had mentioned it. Here it is. Mission Impossible on the PS1. Huh. Don't know what to expect from this one. I suppose we could find out. This game will not self-destruct in 5 seconds, but you may. Good luck. Wait, what? That was close. Oh, don't worry, guys. I didn't throw that game. I just threw away an equally bad game as this one. Let's get started. Hey, what is going on, Nostalgics? It's Ryan from the Nostalgia Factory here, back again with another video of Nostalgic Blast, where we take a look at the best and worst in gaming. And today, everyone, I have the video game that I mentioned to you last time that I played for this review, that we're going to be talking about today, Mission Impossible on the PS1. And let me just say right off the bat, all transparency, this is the worst game I've played since Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. And this game is worse than that one. And at least with Scooby-Doo, I was actually nostalgic for it because I played it. This one, what is there to say? I've never been a Mission Impossible fan. I never really watched the movies when I was a kid, and when they came out with the movie tie-in game of the first Mission Impossible movie from Paramount Studios back in 2001 on the PS1, you'd expect the game to at least be somewhat decent, especially that late into the PS1's life cycle, where they've had plenty of brilliant and amazing-looking games before this. This game is the exception to that rule, as every single thing it tries to do is either okay or executes it terribly. And we're going to get into the reasons why very, very briefly, hopefully, so I don't have to spend as much time talking about this piece of garbage game. Mission Impossible contains 20 levels ripped straight out of the movie that you get to play through being a stealthy secret agent as you make your way through many world-ending situations and try to stop an evil bad guy at the end from destroying and taking over the world. It's pretty general action movie stuff, and the story is definitely not a focus here. And everything that I mentioned at the beginning about most of the stuff this game tries to do being executed horribly is terrible. I'm going to start with something I've talked about in videos in the past, where there have been terrible voice acting in several games I've reviewed. Bloody Roar 4, voice acting wasn't that great. Mega Man 8, voice acting wasn't that great, but they had beautifully done anime-style cutscenes, which improved the game's quality over that. And, you know, that voice acting even added charm to it. This game's voice acting sounds like they didn't even try at all. In fact, it sounds downright cringy at times. Listen to this for a second, and you'll get an idea of what the voice acting is completely like in this game.
Hey, who are you?
Hi, I'm Fred, and I'm looking for my dog.
A dog. Wait a second, something's wrong here. I'm going to get a guard.
As if something minor as the voice lines weren't bad enough, the visuals for this game aren't all amazing either. Blocky sprites, blocky environments, nothing imaginative. The animation for when you fire your gun isn't that flashy or amazing either. It's just the graphics of this game look okay. There's not really much I can say about it. It's like Siphon Filter level graphics. They're not horrible for the type of game that this is, being like a kind of first-person stealth action-adventure game, you know, kind of like Siphon Filter. I mean, there's not really much I can say on them. They're basic PS1 graphics, even though there are plenty of games that have done this so much better on the PS1, even before this game came out, mind you. Crash Bandicoot 1 being a prime example, same kind of blocky design, but way more enhanced with its visuals. This game's visuals are just okay, nothing amazing. The music as well is okay, the tracks are atmospheric enough, but compared to another game like Mega Man 8, for example, I know a completely different genre, but if we're talking games that have similar quality of life features to them, and especially in terms of that voice acting, Mega Man 8's music stands out and is amazing. Every single game, even Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, for a game that's about on the same terrible quality as this game, had way better music that actually emphasized the environments you were going through for the time travel theme. This game doesn't do that as well. The music is just alright. They're not memorable, they don't really add anything, they're just something to listen to while you're slugging through the levels. And speaking through slugging, the controls in this game are kind of garbage at the same time. The walking and running animations in this game are almost impossible to pinpoint and track sometimes. The motion detection when you're trying to climb over objects is abysmal, aiming your gun is as stiff can be, and when you try to go into first-person mode to actually fire the damn thing, you can't execute it half the time because the controls lock up so much. Stealth segments are almost impossible in some areas without being spotted and failing the mission entirely, assuming that you want to play through the entire thing anyway. You know, it's just one of those things that where the controls work fine enough for some areas, but overall with the handling of the gun, the stealth segments, and climbing over objects, the main things you do in this game, they're terrible. I think besides the controls and the gameplay and lack of a good story and the voice acting and everything else I've talked about negatively that was either okay or just done terribly, executed poorly, the thing that disappointed me the most about this game, for a game all about secret agents going and saving the world and having some badass characters at your disposal, the game layout is confusing as confusing could be. When you start the first mission, you don't even know exactly where to go half the time. The map feature they give you is unreliable, doesn't take you to areas well enough, it's not executed well at all with the dot placement of your objective markers. The controls definitely don't help with navigating the various environments, such as the first level, mind you, that you have to navigate around several guards and find your way to fuse boxes in order to shoot them out and bring your friend into it. And to be honest, the layout itself just isn't that reliable. There is no control menu for the game. The controls don't tell you anything, even if they would have included one. And overall, the help section is no help at all. There is just no function of this game from even properly selecting your weapons, firing your gun, using a face magnifier, which is apparently a big deal in the first movie, I guess. That's what I got from this game, I guess, in terms of gadgets. But it doesn't tell you how to properly use any of that stuff. And quite frankly, they're sluggish to use in the first place. And it's just so poor to execute. This game, overall, is just not good. When I first decided to play this game for this review, and it said, inspect the impossible up there, I wasn't really expecting much. I tried to go in with a clear conscience, try to give the benefit of the doubt, but I suppose that it was impossible to expect that this game was going to be of any good quality. The game overall is just so mediocre in so many areas. The music and the environments for the PS1 look fine enough, but everything else, from the controls to the gameplay to the layout in general, is just bad. And honestly, I cannot recommend you play this game whatsoever. If you're a Mission Impossible fan, give it a go. Maybe you'll find something in it that I didn't. But overall, Mission Impossible, Expect the Impossible on the PS1 is not a good game. I would not recommend playing this one. I'd even recommend playing Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase over this game. And I don't even really like that game so much anymore. And this is a game that I played when I was a kid. This game, you can just leave it behind. It's not that great. And that's it for today's episode of Nostalgic Blast, guys. I never really thought that the looking at the worst in gaming part of this show would end up becoming a theme so soon when I started doing these videos again. Devil May Cry and Shovel Knight were really good games. Shovel Knight being amazing, and, you know, the first Devil May Cry being really good. But this game, for the third game in for this new season, it is... Hopefully we don't have any more terrible games for a while after this, because this game I just could not get through. Definitely not a good game whatsoever. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. If you've ever played this game, please tell me your experience with it. If you found something in the game that I didn't, by all means, feel free to tell me in the comments. If you found some enjoyment, that's fantastic. So, but either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and give the video a like and subscribe if you want to catch more videos in the future, and support the channel as a whole. And yeah, other than that, guys, I don't know what we're going to be doing for the next review. I will figure it out. There's some other games that I played that I can go back to, and some new games that I'm aiming to try out. So we'll see. But until next time, thank you for watching, guys, and keep on gaming.